Welcome to Anime Out of Context, a comedy review show hosted by a basement dweller who grew up scrounging terrible fan subs on sketchy websites prior to the convenience of modern streaming, alongside a willfully ignorant soul whose only knowledge of anime comes from the shows forced upon him here. This show will contain spoilers, incorrect information, and copious amounts of adult language. Our hosts are not experts on any topic, and everything they say should be taken with a grain of salt. Thank you for listening, and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to Anime Out of Context, the show where we explore the sometimes weird, sometimes wonderful, but always hilarious world of anime.
Oh, fuck. I struggle to come up with an intro because I wasn't expecting this.
My name is Remington Chase.
I'm scared Sean Rollins.
Merry Christmas, Sean.
No. No, Rem.
In fact, it's crazy, Sean, that one, Christmas has come so quickly, and two,
It's July!
not when this episode's gonna get posted.
Yes, it is! Yes, it fucking is! It's gonna be July 2nd when this episode is posted.
Well, here's the thing, Sean. I figured it's such a momentous... You're right that we're recording towards the end of June, so it would normally apply at the beginning of July. But this is a bit special. So let me explain why it's special. Because in this year, 2022, it just so happens that Christmas and April Fools fall on the same day. Crazy. What? I know. It's wild. In fact, here's the wildest part, Sean. And also the reason why we are indeed starting to record this in June. There's not just one April Fool's in December. In fact, we're here to celebrate the 12 days of April Fools.
What?
That's right. This will be posted for everybody. The other 11, or at least most of the other 11, we'll see how exactly we figure it out. We have 6 months to prepare. Will be posted on Patreon every day from this point forward, counting down to good old Christmas April Fools. And what
every day?
Yeah, we're good. So Sean, let me be clear. The listeners right now, they have just learned that there's a bunch more April Fools coming. You have just learned that you have 6 months of a total of 12 April Fools coming up. That is the rest of year 2022. Is that we will just be recording throughout the other episodes that we're doing 12 April Fools episodes to celebrate Christmas.
I just took a picture of my face because of how fucking shocked I am. It's frozen. There you go.
But Sean,
there you go.
Sean, I want those are lovely cat ears. I want to you've given me the power of choice, right?
Oh god, yeah.
And so I figured to celebrate Christmas, I have a couple anime that you can choose from. Okay, so
all right.
You can either all right, so you can either choose an anime that you actively hate, right?
Oh.
Or an anime I don't think you'll like, but it was iconic in the time and had like super advanced visuals.
Okay.
So
these are two specific shows that you have prepared behind a
yes.
DM screen from hell that I have to contend with.
Yeah, so one of these anime you hate, and I know you hate it. I disagree, but you hate it. The other one, I also do not think you will like it.
I see. But it was popular for the time.
Yeah, it was very popular at the time and also had like cutting edge visuals.
Can I ask any follow-up questions, or is this all I'm getting?
I mean, I guess you can, but we'll see if I answer them or not.
Question about the first one, is it something that we've covered on the podcast before?
Yes.
Fuck. That narrows it down to a scary degree.
Would you like to ask any questions about the second one?
Is the second one actually anime?
Like, I guess it depends on your definition of anime, man, because as you've told me, it's a real complicated term.
So that's a no. Oh God, I hate this. This is, man, I had a whole thing planned today. Well, that's a shame. All right, I guess, the old saying is go with the evil you know rather than the evil you don't. But here's the thing. I still don't know which evil it is.
I need a decision. Choose the one that you've stated you hate, or the one I think you will dislike.
Oh, fuck. I'm too scared of the one we've previously covered. Let's do the new one.
All right, let me tell you the one we've previously covered.
Okay.
Should also be noted, both Christmas.
Both Christmas.
The one that I know you hate.
Yeah.
It's Umaru-chan. Obviously, it's Umaru-chan. Has to be Umaru-chan.
Ah, fuck,
Well,
I chose wrong.
It's sort of Umaru-chan. I got a little mixed up when looking at the Christmas. It was Gremlins. It was Gremlins, actually.
Have I said I hated Gremlins?
No, you said you've hated Umaru-chan.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Fuck, I should have
Because she's
chose
a
that
gremlin.
one then.
You probably should have. But instead, we are going to do the classic that everyone knows, everybody loves, and people don't like looking at one bit, the Polar Express.
No!
Chugga chugga choo choo, all on board for 12 days of April Fools. This is how we're opening it up, Sean. So Sean, have you ever seen Polar Express?
Once, and I regret it.
Well, how old were you?
Ah, fuck. Probably when it first came out.
Which
what year?
I mean, I can give you the year, or you can struggle.
Give me the year,
It was
please.
2004.
That long ago,
Way back when.
That makes way too much sense now that I'm thinking about it. God, I would have...
Well, just think. So you had young Sean, right? And he didn't like it. But as we've
Yeah.
learned, young Sean had terrible opinions. So perhaps now Sean can appreciate what his younger self was otherwise unable to do. You know?
Hey, Rem, I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Are you going to be watching this with me, or am I on my own?
You know, I think that's really up to the Christmas spirit when it comes down to it, you know. I think at the end of the day,
You passive-aggressive bitch.
I have binged it every day for the past 2 years, Sean, so I think I'm all right.
I disagree.
It's ingrained
Did you even
into
watch it in preparation for this episode?
I've seen it before.
Let me guess, around 2004?
I think I've seen it once more since, so I've seen it like twice.
Oh, God.
So
Well, let me tell you what I remember from it.
okay,
Rem.
perfect. Yep.
So the basic premise, if I recall correctly, and I'm having to dig real deep here, is it's an animated movie about a kid who is losing his faith in Santa Claus.
Yeah, he's like Santa Claus bullshit, dude.
Yeah, and so, Christmas Eve, a fucking train rolls up outside his house,
Yeah.
filled with very uncanny looking people,
Man, they're
And-
weird as fuck.
and kidnap them and take them to the North Pole for some reason. It sounds like something out of an old, like, Nordic fairy tale warning you of, like, Baba Yaga.
Hey,
That's what it sounds like, just
But
with a modern twist.
they have everything, all right? They got conductor, they got musical waiters, they have hot chocolate, they got a magic hobo. They have it all. They have it all.
Oh god, there was a magic hobo! Why was there a magic hobo?
Well, these aren't the questions you need to worry yourself about, Sean. Especially because after there will be 11 more of these over the next 6 months in preparation
God.
for the big release of 12 April Fools in 1 month. It's gonna be grand. But for now, let's get ready to go and watch the phenomenal, the iconic anime movie, The Polar Express.
Oh, I don't want this ticket.
Normally, this is the part of the show where I include some clips from the episode, both as a refresher and a teaser. However, this week we have a special announcement instead. A member of our Patreon who goes by Farmer Weeb has set up a charity challenge for those who are subscribed to our Patreon. In an attempt to bully Sean into forcing Remington to watch the first 7 episodes of the show Angel Beats, for every patron who changes their name to include the word Angel by December 23rd, 2022, he will donate $5 to the Tracy Aviary, the oldest aviary in the United States, who does fantastic conservation and education work, housed here, Salt Lake City, Utah. If Remington decides to watch and finish Angel Beats, Farmer Weeb will double his contribution to $10 per patron. Regardless of if Remington finishes watching the show, the Anime Out of Context team will also be making a donation to the Tracy Aviary. Thank you for listening, and back to the show.
And we are back after watching the totality of the phenomenal, award-winning 2004 anime film, The Polar Express. Sean, are you feeling that Christmas spirit now?
I'm feeling something, Rem. I'm feeling a feeling that I hope we can talk about.
I think I know that feeling, and Tom Hanks makes me feel the same way, Sean.
Okay, look, don't get me wrong. I like Mr. Hanks. Mr. Hanks is great. If you're out there listening right now, Mr. Hanks, you're welcome on the show anytime. But, Rem, this movie is even more of a fever dream than I remembered it being back when it first came out in 2004.
Yeah, I remember even when I was young, like, really struggling to piece it all together. And then I've watched this multiple times, and every time I've ever watched it, it's always been the case where I'm like, what happens?
I mean, I'm going to be real with you, Rem. I'm going to tell you what happens. It's not going to be a piece-by-piece, play-by-play, because, quite frankly, I have a theory about this movie.
Ooh, I love some theory crafting.
And genuinely, I feel like they came up, like, so this is based off of a children's book, if I recall correctly, right?
Yes,
like, just
correct.
like a short little colorful children's book. You know, the kind of things that have, like, maybe 100 words total. And some really pretty pictures, right?
Well, I mean, the pictures are fine.
I haven't seen the book, so I honestly could not tell you.
I'll be honest, the pictures could be a lot better.
Okay, great. So, even the saving grace of the source material being better is not an option. Good to know. But no. So, Rem, I stepped into this movie and I realized that we can't talk about this film in our normal location.
Oh,
because Rem, you and I need to go on a trip.
oh, do we?
Yeah.
Do we now?
Yeah, because we
Is
need to
it
go
to the North Pole?
Oh man, you wish it was to the North Pole. No. We're going to a much less traveled location. Because Rem, you and I are going to a little place commonly known as the Uncanny Valley.
Lovely place, lovely place. Yeah, because one of the major things about this film was it was groundbreaking for using live action motion capture for its CGI, right?
Yes.
And to be fair, I want to give some credit for its time. The Polar Express was one of the most realistic films around. That being said, unfortunately, the upper limit of what was capable in 2004 lands you squarely in that uncanny valley.
Because let me tell you right now, man, motion capture has come a long fucking way. We live in a day and age where motion capture is a part of some streamers' kits. Like some VTubers are doing motion capture stuff to do their streams, and it's very fun and fascinating. And there's so many realistic looking games and movies that do the mocap thing for monsters or creatures or real people, and it's amazing. It's wonderful. I'm glad that this technology exists. But Rem, my God, I can only stare into the soulless eyes of kids and Tom Hanks for so long before I feel like I'm gonna lose my own mind, Rem.
Yeah.
Because the way every character in this movie moves, you can tell that they were using rudimentary mocap.
Yeah.
But that just makes it all the more awkward because
But awkward in a charming way, right? Where it's
Ooh.
they're getting there.
No. No. Because from the whole tone of this kids movie, and it is a kids movie, right? So you got to take everything I say with the purview that it is for, kids, especially young kids who need something flashy and shiny to distract them for however long on Christmas. But it feels like the mocap is almost the equivalent of somebody's first animation project, like traditionally 3D animating something, because they like move in like human ways, but in the kind of human ways where an actor is like wearing something and doesn't fully know how to move in a way that'll be conveyed probably because what the fuck, I'm in a suit covered in balls.
Yeah.
And a lot of like the mocap stuff is very jittery is the way I'm going to phrase it. Not like frame droppy, but it's like they do some movements and it's smooth from one frame to another, but it doesn't feel right. The thing about animation, Rem, is you got to have there's got to be some levels of unrealisticness to the animation to make it look more natural.
Some exaggeration. Yeah.
Exactly, exaggeration. And there is some, but everything feels so stiff and weird until Rem, they engage the physics engine. Because, Rem, I shit you not, I think a good chunk of this film was them playing around with animation physics engines.
You think they were just experimenting? You think they were
a
just
little bit like
around?
Sure, they were trying to make a movie out of it, but at the same time, the amount of times I saw like the exact same like physics reactions in animation software I used back in high school was hilarious. Like, jumping a little ahead, there's a scene where the kid falls into like a big thing of coal, at the front of a train, because trains are involved.
of course.
And like he's sliding down and all the coal is falling around him, like in a very uniform and even way, like you would see in like a physics engine experiment, and all the coal is like suspiciously round and almost always the same shape. It is so uncanny. Everything in this movie is uncanny. But that aside, Rem, would you like to hear my big theory for this movie?
I would love to, Sean.
Rem, my big theory for this movie is they were like, hey, we need a new Christmas movie. But you know what would be really cool? If this Christmas movie got turned into a ride at Universal Studios. Because I shit you not, Rem, from beginning to end, at least the train component, and into a bit of the North Pole component as well, it feels like I'm on one of those Universal Studios rides. Like,
yeah.
Because there's such little continuity between it, and it's so weirdly quick-paced and goes from one scene to another to another to another that it feels like it's all being jammed together into a weird pseudo roller coaster experience with flashing lights and colorful pictures. And I think they were really pushing for that amusement park ride adaptation when they were making this movie.
Well, Sean, can't it just be the whimsy? I mean, people love it. After all, if people didn't love it, why would there be a Polar Express wiki?
There's a Polar Express wiki.
There is.
There's a wiki for fucking everything. What rule of the internet is that?
Here, let's. How about we go to a random page on the Polar Express wiki, shall we? That seems like a fun time. Let's just see.
Sure, and if it turns out bad, Dylan can just cut it out.
Yeah, see, experimenting. All right, let's go to a random page here and see what we get. But of course, all right, so we got North Pole tractors, right? Now, Sean, you may be wondering, I don't recall any North Pole tractors.
Well, I'm not thinking that because I saw them. Other people who haven't seen this movie in a while probably would think that, but go on.
Well, I'll tell you, there's North Pole tractors, there's ice ships,
okay,
and there's hot air balloons, right?
Yep.
But I'm not talking about the movie. No, I'm on the page of the Polar Express wiki talking about the North Pole vehicles in the Polar Express video game.
Oh, fuck, there was a video game.
Because of course there is. Why the fuck wouldn't there be
this was
a goddamn
like
video game?
The start of the peak area of shovelware video games. Oh god, I played so many of those bad movie tie-in games back in the day. My Christ.
Oh, and don't worry, this is for sure one of those.
But Rem,
it is for sure one of those bad movies and well, bad games rather.
so Rem, you're probably wondering what the fuck happens in the Polar Express.
Oh yeah, I've been wondering that since I first saw it when I was a child.
Exactly.
So I'm glad that finally I am about to get answers.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, Rem. Not much. Just going straight into it. Not much. But I can tell you what they were going for at the very least,
Oh, please do, please.
and
do.
why it doesn't make any fucking sense. So, Rem, the Polar Express is all about our main character, whose name I don't think is ever said in the movie.
No, he's labeled as Hero Boy.
Man, Hero is a wild thing to call him.
You don't think he's a hero, Sean?
No. In fact, he's kind of an asshole. Like one of the biggest assholes.
You act like an asshole, and all of a sudden, Sean's calling you an asshole.
Rem, that's our show. That's what we do.
Oh, it's true. It's true.
Usually between each other is the asshole gets thrown around. But for right now, this kid is the asshole. It's about a kid who is, man, it's almost Christmas. It's Christmas Eve, and he's starting to not believe in Santa Claus. You know? Yeah, he's losing that faith because he read some articles, he saw some newspapers, saw a mall Santa that wasn't great. You know?
Doesn't he understand? He just needs to have faith and ignore the evidence.
Rem, this is not.
What? I'm just talking about Santa.
Okay, yes.
I'm not talking about anything else.
You're just talking about Santa, Rem. That is correct. And
to talk about anything else would be far too controversial and charged for a humble podcast like this one.
And he's losing his faith, and he's thinking, oh man, clearly his parents are Santa Claus and they're just gonna do the presents, and it's sad, it's bad, it's okay. His little sister is like, but I want Christmas to be good and such, and he's like, Santa's not real. Just like sad kid asshole things.
Sure.
Out of fucking nowhere. In the middle of the fucking night.
Yep.
There's a big old train outside.
It'd be because they just live out. They live next to a train station, of course.
No. They live, as far as I can tell. I think they said in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Which I don't know much about Michigan, but I don't think train tracks run through the middle of suburbs very often.
I see.
Yeah. And so, of course, this kid, being woken up by this train and seeing it outside, immediately the first thing he does is run outside in his pajamas to the train.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
Yeah. And then, screaming through the night, mustachioed Tom Hanks steps forth and is like, well, you're getting on there, kid. It's not what he sounded like. But that's exactly what was playing through my head every time. Like an old school carnival barker. Mixed with Tom Hanks. That's what was going through my mind the whole time. Because the second asshole of this movie is Tom Hanks.
Hey, that's not fair. Tom Hanks is everywhere, man.
Yeah, no. That is...
Fun fact about this. So Tom Hanks, right? He was like, oh, perfect. Let's make a movie out of this book, right?
Right.
And he was like, but if we're gonna do this, one condition, all right?
Okay.
It's gotta be live action. It cannot be animated.
Something tells me Tom Hanks lost that argument.
As it turns out. Yeah, as it turns out, the director was like, but what if, hear me out. All right, we can totally make sure it's not animated. But what if, actually, it was, though?
What if we put you in a suit, covered you in balls, and then you acted out the movie, and then you're done? Sounds
Tom
pretty
Hanks
good, huh?
Loves to be covered in balls.
It's true. Tom Hanks loves that. Now he won't ever come on our show, so thanks for that, Rem. But Tom Hanks enters the scene, inviting him onto the train. And of course, the kid is understandably hesitant. Because
Sure.
if Mustachio Tom Hanks comes out and is like, hey, kid, you getting on my train? I would probably say no. Like, I feel like even as a young kid, I'd be like, no? No. I'm going to go with no on that. Yes, this is clearly like a strange, fantastical train, but you're Mustachio Tom Hanks, and I don't know if I should trust you on this train.
Yeah.
But of course, because we need plot, it piques his curiosity enough so that he gets on the train. And on this
Oh,
train
of course.
are several other kids in their pajamas. And
Because none of them believe either.
no?
Hmm.
No. No. As far as I can tell, only maybe one other kid isn't much of a believer.
Oh,
And even
I
then,
see.
by like the halfway point of the movie, it's like, no, I think he believes. He's just an asshole. You're noticing a trend here.
Yeah.
And no, because most of these kids are like, oh man, I'm so excited. And he's like, oh, well, where are we going? It's like, this is a train to the North Pole. Which at that point, I don't know about you, Rem, but I'm probably getting off. I'm tucking and rolling off this fucking locomotive. Like, as soon as a magical train appears and tells me I'm going to the North Pole, I am going to immediately remember all of the folk mythology I read in the past, like Scandinavian mythology specifically, and think to myself, nothing good ever happens when you get on a magical express of any kind. So this is probably where I'm going to be turned into soup.
Well, yeah, Sean. That's because that's exactly why you aren't the star of the movie. All right, because you're far too cynical and jaded to have this Christmas spirit.
By the movie's logic, then I would be perfect to be on this train. Because that's what the main character is. Except, like, a very wishy-washy cynical. He doesn't go all in like we do, Rem. Like, he's just very like, Santa's not real. Probably. And is weirdly quiet throughout most of the movie. But no, he gets on this train with all of these kids. And they're like, oh man, we're gonna go to the North Pole. It's great. Then Tom Hanks comes and is like, I'm gonna take your tickets, please. Tickets, please. Takes their tickets, hole punches them in a very elaborate way and puts a couple letters in each ticket to identify that he's taking the ticket. Cool, fancy, elaborate. It's like, oh, what do these letters mean? I wonder what they could mean.
Ooh, mysterious.
Yeah, mysterious. And importantly, I should note, aside from Tom Hanks, the only other characters that are relevant are, at this point in time, are like two of the other kids that show up.
And please tell me all about these kids. What are their names?
Oh man. Well, one of them is Spunky Genki Girl.
She's labeled as Hero Girl. So we have Hero Boy.
No. You can't have both.
we have both.
You can't.
We do in fact have both.
These are two very different characters. You
What are you talking
cannot.
about? Hero Boy, Hero Girl. That's it.
Oh boy. Oh, here we go. No. The girl character, God, not having names really sucks, is just this very, like, faithful, outgoing, excited person who's happy to be with people and talk to people and be like, oh man, don't you believe there's so much good that's going to be happening? You know, the very, like, positive one. What's the manic pixie dream girl kind of thing, but not just without, like, the dream girl part. She's just a manic
pixie.
Yeah. And then like, she's probably the only character that's not a complete asshole, I guess, because they really don't want her to be one.
Yeah, fair.
And then there's the I think when I had subtitles on because fuck me, I can't help it these days. I believe the kid was labeled as know-it-all.
Yeah, which, you probably could have guessed that anyway.
Yeah, no. Because
he's the one who gets fucking memed on nonstop. Yeah. Like, if you've seen Polar Express, know-it-all is going to be one of the few things you remember.
Yeah, and my god, as soon as he started talking, I was, like, thrust back in time to the weird period of the late 90s and early 90s where nerds were just considered, like, the worst people ever.
But, I mean, Sean, there's one other important character.
Yeah. The other important character is I think he had a name, but I can't remember it because they didn't give other people names, so I don't think I was paying close enough attention.
It's true. He's the only one who gets a name.
Is it like Billy or something?
It is Billy. Billy,
Okay.
the lonely boy.
Okay, yeah, so, like, they're on the train, they're going, and then the final stop, before they truly get going to the North Pole, is in front of essentially a shack that appears to be floating in the middle of a lake. Strange to
Billy's
say-
deal is that he's sad and would rather be dead.
Yes, but they don't say that.
No, but they basically say that.
They
also.
basically say that. And, like, he refuses to get on it first, and then as the train starts pulling away, he's like, no, actually, I will get on, starts chasing after, and of course, the boy and the spunky girl, run and grab him and fling him on the train, then Tom Hanks yells at them, oh no, it happened. That's a shame. Also, I'm just gonna step back to Know-It-All Kid real quick. You know what bothers me about Know-It-All Kid?
Everything.
Aside from everything.
He is basically like engineered to be annoying.
Yes, like, and hey, if that was your goal, good work.
I think it was.
A+. But it definitely, like, hurt me personally a little bit. Because, like, they're like, this kid knows some things, therefore, he's an asshole. And he sounds like,
Actually, I understand that this is a very fancy kind of train. You know what kind of train this is? No, it's not a magic train, you dumbass, you fucking moron.
now the kid's like 8, so he doesn't say that. But that's basically what he said.
Like, those are the lines that had to be censored, basically.
Yeah, and he just goes on and on about how great trains, it's bad. But after all of the kids are on and they finally get going, the girl's ticket, gets lost in the scuffle of trying to get the boy on the train. And for whatever reason, Tom Hanks is like, oh, I need your ticket, by the way. And it's like, oh, it's gone. No ticket? Well, that's a problem then, isn't it, Missy? Grabs?
And then just kicks them off.
Oh, man, that would be great. In fact, they try to make it seem like that would be the case, Rem. Because what ends up happening is like, well, you're gonna have to come with me, young lady. And starts walking towards the back of the train. Specifically towards the back of the train. Like, 1000%, it's the back of the train.
Well, yeah, because if you kick her off like on the side or in the front, she's gonna get caught up in all the wheels, and you gotta be the one to clean that shit.
And so, like, he takes her away towards the back of the train, and then the Know-It-All Kid's like, oh man, he's gonna throw her off the train! Because that's what they do when they don't have tickets. They throw them off the back of the train. They might slow down, but they won't stop, because, I mean, come on, why would they? And, of course, reasonably, freaks Kid out.
Yep.
But luckily, he goes and he sees her ticket stuck in a vent, grabs it, and rushes to the back of the train to try and catch them and give it to them. He gets to the back of the train, and nobody's there. Strange. So he thinks, maybe they went on the roof of the train. Logical conclusion.
Yes.
So he gets on the roof of the train, and there's a hobo up there with a campfire.
Obviously.
Obviously.
I will say, this hobo always made me wildly uncomfortable.
As he should, but also weirdly, possibly the best part of the movie.
Like, interesting character and, like, well done mannerisms and everything, right? But, I don't know, there's some part, let me try to remember, there's some part where he, like, filters his cocoa through his dirty-ass sock or some shit.
It's coffee. He specifically...
Sure.
Because he calls
and
it,
that-
have a nice cup of joe. And it's
Yeah,
like-
and that fucked me up a little bit.
Yeah,
That fucked me up.
Like, first of all, he's given, like, an 8-year-old coffee, which you never do.
You gotta hop them up for a lifetime.
Yeah, because, I mean, that's what happened to me when I was younger, and look at me now.
Oh, no.
And then it's like, it takes his sock out of the coffee and just like, throws it up, and of course, kid gags. Ha ha ha, funny, funny, funny. And then the kid is like, so what's your story? Because, you know, he didn't have better things to do on top of this train. I'm not leaving much out, by the way, Rem. I just want you
Oh,
to
no,
understand.
yeah, I believe you.
And they have a conversation where it's like, man, you see, I don't need a ticket because I ride for free. I'm basically the king of the world. Hell, I'm the king of the North Pole, creepy hobo man says.
And it feels a lot like he's saying something more here. Like, oh, is this gonna be... The way that this is presented is like, this is the central theme of the movie, right?
Yes.
But it's not?
Like, if you want to twist it, it's like believing in yourself, maybe? I don't know, man. Look, point of the matter is he's weird,
It feels
strange.
both very thematically important, but also completely irrelevant to everything else.
At any rate, they're on top of the train. The train is picking up speed, going through some very weird winding areas, and suddenly Hobo Man stands up and is like, "Oh no, we're coming up to a tunnel." I forget the name of the tunnel. It was like very generic, but also very like threatening. And it's like
generic but threatening.
Yeah, and it's like that tunnel only has an inch of clearance from the top. If we stay on the top of this train, we're done for.
Yeah, there's a lot of like implied death in this movie.
That's
Like
not even
a lot.
That's not even the full of it, Rem. There are at least a dozen times where one or all of these kids should have fucking died. Like them
Which
getting
is
the
just
one
not
kid on the
fitting to like the genre that
No.
it's trying to be.
No, it's not. Like it's not doing the old school thing where like, hey, kids are allowed to be scared of death, and it's not doing like the new age thing. It's like, well, we don't want to have much death in this good family friendly picture. It's weirdly stuck in the middle where it's like, hey, y'all are gonna die if you don't do this right. But if that happens, oh well. That feels like the tone.
Yeah.
And so there's like, oh man, the only solution, Rem, the only solution to stop us from going into this tunnel and getting axed is you're gonna have to hop on my skis, and we're gonna have to ski down the roofs of the train to get to the front of the train into the coal bed and save you there. Why couldn't they just climb down the ladder on one of the cars they were on? It's hard to say. Hard to
Because
say.
that's not fun and whimsical, Sean.
I suppose that's true, Rem. Cue a intense scene where the kid nearly falls off the train about like 3 or 4 different times, and is skied down. And once they get to the end, Hobo's like, "Hey, jump!" And then Hobo jumps, and then fucking disintegrates into snowflakes.
Yeah, because he's a metaphor.
Weird fucking metaphor, my guy.
The ghostly hobo is a metaphor for Christmas.
My God.
I will not clarify.
It's okay because the movie didn't either.
The interpretation is left as an exercise for the listener.
Yes. So he's in the coal pile with the weird physics.
And then we meet a couple of weird chuckle fucks.
Yes, but first things first. Oh look, Spunky Girl is in the engine room.
Yep.
You know, the complete opposite direction the conductor took her.
Don't worry. Hey, he had a lot of time, frankly.
Except apparently he doesn't have any time because that's all he complains about the whole movie. He yells at kids like, "You're gonna make me late, you little shits." Now he didn't say that. Tom Hanks did not call these kids little shits.
He felt it though.
He felt it, and I definitely felt it. So she's just sitting at the front of the car. It's like, oh, okay, fine. And she's just hanging out in the engine, and then at the very front of the train are the 2 train engineers. You got short and fat, and lanky and ginger.
So Sean, you're starring this movie.
I cannot emphasize how I was expecting you to make that joke.
I mean, lanky and ginger. I mean, come on.
But I'm not like burning flaming red ginger with a beard that's longer than I am tall.
You're smoky through and through.
I don't.
Their names are Smokey and Steamer.
They don't say that in the movie.
No, but that's some like pro wrestling names right there.
And coming to the ring, Smokey and Steamer.
These 2 dudes could pull it off. Oh, and then like the conductor yanks on Smokey's beard really hard.
Oh, you're jumping ahead of things, Rem. You're going way too
I'm
far in
sorry.
the plot.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Cause like these 2 like engineers left a kid in the cabin, you know,
Yep.
so that both of them could go to the front of the train to do something. I don't know.
Yep.
I genuinely don't know. They're just at the front of the train, and they the conductors look down and like, oh, bad business. Stop the train. Yell back to the kids. Tell them to stop the train. And there's this weird moment of the 2 kids in the cabin trying to be like, well, wait, which one's the brake? And the girl's like, well, they told me that this one was the brake. And then asshole kid, main character kid, is like, well, what about this big red lever that looks like a brake? And then there's like this weird dynamic like that's trying to build tension. It's like, well, which one's the brake? Which one's the brake? And then
at
the end,
the one you were told, or the one that I just feel like.
yeah, exactly. And so he pulls the one that she told him, and the train stops, and then it's just a herd of caribou.
Yep, they were blocking the tracks.
Yep, they were walking the tracks.
Which I want to be abundantly clear. I want to ruin people's days.
Mm-hmm.
Most times they ain't stopping for those caribou. I don't want to ruin people's days, but in this type of scenario, a lot of those trains are going through a lot of those caribou.
I don't know, man. Steamer, is Steamer the fat one?
Sure, why not?
Sure. So Steamer says, "Oh man, they're gonna be here for hours because there has to be either 100,000 or 1,000,000 of them."
Yeah.
Which is a broad range, to say the least.
Yes, yeah.
And
And so now we go off the rails.
yeah, no. Their solution to this problem that just appeared is kid nearly falls off the train again. What a surprise. Grabs onto Smokey's beard, and Smokey starts screaming and yowling. Which sounds like caribou, I guess, if you squint your ears. And then the conductor's like, "Hey, wait a minute. Caribou, respond to that. I think this might work." And starts just yanking on his beard randomly, rather than, I don't know, asking the guy to make the sound.
Being like, yell
Yeah.
for me, bud.
And then the caribou part like the fucking Red Sea.
Oh, Smokey was Moses all along.
Yeah. Who would have thought Moses was ginger? And then the wrestling boys go back and start the train up again, and the conductor and the two kids stay on the front of the train for some reason.
Not because the vibes there are
I
pretty
guess.
solid, you know?
I guess. And then the most buck wild thing of the movie happens. For the train portion, at least. The thing that they showed in every fucking trailer that I still remember to this day
Oh, yeah.
is the train roller coaster bit.
Yep.
And they're like, "Oh no, we're going up to the most dangerous part of the ride. We're stuck on the front of the train, and they are not able to slow down because for whatever reason, a single pin that controls, I guess, the second brake, because it's a completely different lever from the other brake. Like,
Don't worry about it.
Maybe it's a throttle or something. I don't know trains. This could be beyond me. But either way, it's strange. And
Yeah, you're not saying that it's necessarily inaccurate. You're just saying it's poorly communicated.
Exactly. This pin that is holding this lever in place flies out, so they can't slow down, and they are going to be speeding max speed on this very dangerous roller coaster bit. And so the kids and the conductor are at the front, which again, theme park ride. That's the vibe I was getting the whole time.
Yeah, very fair, very fair.
So the kids and the conductor are at the front screaming their heads off, while in the cabin we get some like SpaceX shit, where these two bumbling dudes are trying to get the pin, and throughout the various like ups and downs, they are floating in the cabin, and then one of them accidentally eats the pin, and it's a whole ordeal. And then after like most of the dangerous stuff is over, the solution they come up with is Smokey takes off his hat, pulls out his hairpin, and just sticks it in.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, great solution. Cool.
that checks out.
Yeah, because a hairpin and a train lever pin are the same thing.
Hey, that's an industrial grade hairpin, okay?
Had to be, because that man had way more hair than sense.
He has a lot of hair.
And that's coming from two dudes who have a lot of hair.
It's true.
But, oh no, now that they're done with the scary bit, unfortunately, they are on a giant frozen lake, and the lake has frozen over the tracks. Oh no.
Danger.
Yeah. And so, I shit you not, the ice starts cracking, and then they're like, all right, we know where the tracks are going to start up again. We gotta ice skate drift this train, Tokyo Drift style, all the way to that location. And then it's just a chase scene of ice fastly but slowly catching up to them to drop them into the drink.
Yeah, just allowing all of the children to die via dying in a frozen hellscape.
And I'm going to tell you right now, Rem, I feel like some of the kids should have died.
Probably.
Because by the end, the majority of the train cars in the back, the ones with all the kids in them, sink to at least 3/4 below the water before getting on the tracks and continuing forward.
Yeah, but, I mean, fuck them. Look, the spirit of Christmas is the spirit of compromise, all right? And if we can get at least one kid to believe in Santa, then is it so bad if a few kids who already believed in Santa fucking beef it?
I didn't know you were a part of the Vatican. Anyways, and then they're on the tracks, and then the rest... Look, man, I don't know if I have the energy to go through the rest of this movie, Rem. Because
we have a bit where there's like a weird and pretty meaningless. The hobo comes back for a prank.
Yeah.
But
like a weird puppet horror section.
Which doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't make any sense.
But then they get to the North Pole.
They do get to the North Pole, which is stupid. like I wasn't having a great time on the train, Rem. I'll be real with you.
You could have fooled me.
But the second they got off the train, from that point onwards, nothing made any fucking sense.
I'll be honest, I struggle to remember, and like, there's more that happens in the North Pole than I recall.
Rem, a full third of the movie is set in the North Pole.
Which doesn't feel correct.
No. Would you like me to tell you?
How I remember it, they arrive at the North Pole, right? And then it's like, hey, here's a bell. And then that's it.
No,
There's
there's
so
like
much
30 minutes of stuff at the North Pole. Because once they get to the North Pole, I can't remember the exact reason because I'll be honest with you, Rem, when I was watching this, it was late and I was losing my goddamn mind at the time. So
Are you saying Polar Express doesn't deserve your 100% undivided attention?
Absolutely not. I will watch just about any other Tom Hanks movie twice before I watch Polar Express and give it my undivided
I don't know,
attention.
maybe we'll hold you to that. Continue.
What happens when they get to the North Pole, Rem, is the kids break off and go exploring. That being
okay.
the spunky girl, main dude, and lonely sad boy. The
I
only
mean,
thing,
why wouldn't you?
the only things I'll also let me just put something out there so people are like, well, why didn't you talk about this? Because it made me fucking angry. Rem, did you know that this was like a pseudo musical?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, it has. Let me put it this way. One thing which I am frankly offended you didn't mention. The best part of the entire movie is a song and dance number of the Hot Chocolate number.
I'm gonna be real with you, Rem. You're only saying that because you like hot chocolate.
It's the best part of the movie. You can't fool
Because
me.
I watched it, and you know what the first thought that went into my mind was, Rem?
Man, what a bop.
No. That is some
Man,
weird...
look at those moves.
That is some weird fucking looking hot chocolate. Like...
It is like nice and viscous.
Yeah, like, it looks thick. Like motor oil.
It does. It's so right.
It is...
It's so right.
It's so cursed. At any rate. Like,
But it's a lovely, like, the song and dance number. I still
Irritating.
maintain it's the best part of the goddamn movie.
irritating. The whole thing. But no, they break off and they go exploring in the North Pole. They find the workshop. They get separated through some contrived memes. And then they see a present addressed to Billy. And then the remainder of the movie
Because
is...
the whole thing is like, oh, Santa's gonna give the first gift of Christmas to someone, right?
Yes.
And like, it seems a lot like Billy is sort of being set up to be this special little boy.
Yes. But no.
No, he's not.
Instead, Billy gets the eyes of greed and sees a present with his address and name on it and starts chasing after it. And they go through a bunch of very, like, not OSHA approved equipment.
Yep.
And
Santa's workshop is a safety hazard.
in so many ways, and nearly die like another half a dozen times before ending up in Santa's sack with all the presents. And then, out of nowhere, the know-it-all kid is in the sack with them too, because, you know, why wouldn't he be? There's a whole scene where they're transporting the sack through a giant, like, Zeppelin hot air balloon that has, like, normal latex balloon openings at the top that they use to lower it doesn't make it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. And they are brought back to the square with the other kids, and then the big man himself, Rem, Santa Claus, shows up. And Santa in this movie, Rem, Santa is fit for some reason.
Yeah, which, like, why? Why is that a change you felt was necessary?
Like, cause he's at least 7'3", and he's built like a brick shithouse. Like, he is. This Santa is rectangular. Like, you could maybe see a hint of a belly, but it looks like he's just all bulk, like raw muscle. Like
Polar Express Santa is a certified daddy.
I don't know about that, man.
Can we not say that? Can we not?
I
say he's a
don't think we can
certified daddy?
say that
I
because
feel like we could say he's a certified daddy. Like, if he is a certified daddy, then I think it's up to us to acknowledge that fact.
Look, I'm okay with a sexy Santa. That's fine. This Santa, like, it's like they wanted to make him both sexy and still be Santa, but they didn't commit fully to either. Because also he doesn't.
Okay, so you want a sexier Santa. To
Hey,
clarify.
look, I just don't like these half measures.
if you're gonna have Santa be a little bit sexy, you may as well have him be really sexy.
Exactly. And there's some convoluted bullshit. The kid starts shouting, "I believe." Because I'll tell you right now, Rem, throughout this whole movie, the kid refused to admit he believed in anything until the very end of the movie, which is fucking bonkers.
Yeah, they're like, with all due respect, you've been given ample evidence at this stage.
Like, the magic train would have been enough for me to be like, alright, cool. This is real. This is happening. Santa's a thing. I can believe in this. This job done. Movie over. Let's go. But no.
Yeah.
He shouts to the sky, "I believe." Then 7-foot-tall himbo Santa shows up and is like, "What did you say? You believe? Come with me." Brings him to the sleigh, slits him on his lap, and is like, well, he doesn't sit him on his lap. He sits him next to him on the sleigh, because that would still be a little weird, but, Santa lap thing. And he's like, "Hey, what do you want for Christmas?" And I shit you not, Remington. I'm thinking really hard right now. I cannot remember what the fuck the kid says. It is static. I am usually good at memorizing details, but I gave so little shits about this kid that it is static in my brain right now.
Yeah, fuck him.
So eventually Santa's like, "Here, take this bell," which he couldn't hear, because you can't hear Santa's sleigh bells if you don't believe.
Yeah, but now
Now that he has it, he believes.
he does believe.
And then they all go home. But oh no, he lost the bell. But then it's Christmas morning when they all get home, and then they wake up, and oh no, look, Santa gave him a Christmas bell and he can ring. And the story ends with Tom Hanks saying, "Ah man, everybody eventually couldn't hear the bell, but I could hear it for the rest of my life." This movie sucks ass, Rem. Even as a kid's movie, it sucks ass.
All right, let me ask you a question, John. Because the movie was initially going to be made a little differently, and I want to see if they made this one change, if you think they could have salvaged it.
All right.
Initially, the plan was for Tom Hanks to voice everybody.
That would have Rem. Let me. I
Just play every role.
Rem. Let me be real with you. I mean this from my heart of hearts. If Tom Hanks had voiced if the only thing they changed was who voiced the characters, and Tom Hanks voiced every character in this goddamn movie,
Like, imagine a Tom Hanks know-it-all. Like, oh man.
this would have been my favorite Christmas movie.
So, the real problem with Polar Express, like, all of the things we listed, but primarily, despite having quite a bit of Tom Hanks, not enough Tom Hanks.
Not enough Tom Hanks. Not enough Tom. If they had committed to the bit and Tom Hanks's manly ass voice came out of Spunky Little Girl, best movie, 10 out of 10.
He could have pulled it off, goddammit.
Tom Hanks is
could've
an
done it.
amazing actor. He can do whatever role he damn well pleases.
If he wants to play Hero Girl, he can play Hero Girl. Well, I guess, I was hoping that we'd get into a bit more Christmas spirit this week. Doesn't look like we,
Well, we got 11 more of these shits to do, so...
we do. As a reminder, day by day, every single day until we post the final one, on Patreon for all of our $5 patrons and above, we would be posting 11 more April Fools this month. 11 more that Sean is going to have to withstand, and boy oh boy, we've got it all, let me tell you. We have absolutely everything in store. Sean has no idea, and I'm not gonna spoil it, but every direction you think I might take, by God, I'm gonna take it.
Because this is my baseline, Rem.
Yeah, this is how we're starting. This is day one. So Sean, as we close the day one of April Fools, I have one question to ask. Do you want to watch more Polar Express with me, bud?
Only if Tom Hanks voices everybody. Otherwise,
Well-
fuck no.
Thank you all for tuning in. If you want to support us, then please leave a review on wherever you listen to podcasts, whether that's Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or wherever else you listen. If you want to support us a little bit more, we have twitch.tv /anime out of context, where we stream a handful of things. Just all sorts of different games, such as the illustrious Garfield Kart.
We've never streamed Garfield Kart. At the time of this recording, we've never
by
done
now, by the time this is uploaded, we've definitely, in fact, I think by the time this is uploaded, we've become only a Garfield Kart Twitch streaming channel.
That would also require you to show up to the Twitch streams, right?
By now, I probably have. Who knows? Who knows? This is once again, we're recording 6 months in advance.
Yep.
But if you want to go above and beyond, and once again, if you want to get access to all sorts of bonus features, including 11 more April Fool's episodes, not even counting the extra April Fools that we have posted like ages ago at this point on Sword of the Avatar. Like, there's so much bonus content there. Pop over to our Patreon. We really appreciate it. You get all sorts of perks, including this week, where you get Sean to read out all of these lovely, lovely patron names. So, Sean, who are our lovely patrons? Which I guess, no, this doesn't work at all.
Yeah, no, we can't do that. We have to actually cut it in.
All right, Dylan, when you are editing this one, remind us to put in the necessary patron readings, because we can't do it right now.
No, because that's 6 months in advance. We can't. You didn't think this bit through, did you,
Well,
Rev?
no. Fortunately, the other 11, they'll be on Patreon, so we won't have Patreon shoutouts, you see.
Yeah.
It's just this one we have a problem with, so just...
Worst case scenario, Dylan, if you have to do it yourself, we love and appreciate you.
Yay, patron readings that are definitely remembered to do. All right, Sean, who do we have to thank?
As always, we would love to give our love and affection and thanks to the Bland Bit protagonist here and our magical girls. But moving right along to our yandere waifus, who do enjoy a little bit of a reversal every once in a while. And to start them off, we would like to give many thanks to a certain scientific railgun is not a magical index, says Misaka. And now to the Boy Wizard tier, where you get the task you avoid by writing a Patreon name. Chris, you get planning your fiance's B-day. Sorry, I'm doing it backwards because things are different. Things are different. Ignore that. We're not actually going to the Boy Wizard tier. I'm sorry. Aaron Heckland.
we've got down. We only have 2 yandere waifus now.
As soon as we announced that,
we've fallen on hard times.
Yeah, no. As soon as we announced that a fan was being very generous with Patreon, we lost all of our patrons. Just all of them. Like, charity for birds. No, siree. Not gonna promote those bastards anymore. Yeah, no.
Did we? I don't know if that's been mentioned.
Has it not been mentioned?
Well, it's definitely not been mentioned in this episode that was recorded 6 goddamn months ago.
I'm fairly certain we mentioned it in, like, last week's episode, though, I think. Didn't we? Or did we not? You know what? It's fine.
No, I think it's...
Hey,
all right.
Look, it's fine.
Maybe we did. Who knows? Who knows, man?
It's hard to say. At any point, Aaron Hegland. According to Spotify, I've listened to 5,610 minutes this year alone. Y'all keep it up, and can we get a Gintama episode soon? That's a lot of minutes.
Goddamn.
Adaze, AJ Honey, AJ Tunnels, Elise Howard, and the angel Michael said to the farmer, "Fuck your wallet, I love those goddamn birds." That's a great name. Angel Beats ? Oh, you mean those Toradora flashbacks? Angel Rose. Bad anime idea. A slice of life show about a quiet Amish village where very little happens. Big Blue Bear Boy. Blake Star. Blood for the Blood God, Skulls for the Skull Throne. Rock Hard for Angel Women. Charles Crumpton, Cheese Monkey, Creed 13. Depressed Retail Worker says, do Angel Beats as a Christmas episode. Fantide. Farmer Weeb wants you to do Angel Beats. Angel wants you to be an angel for the birds. Ferdy the Angel Birdman. Fuck of Love Oxen Boy. Glenn Michael Dolan. Help, my angel beats me every night. Oh dear. Hey Yules, why the hell am I listening to a shitty Dragon Ball Gacha game ad? Fair, honestly. Fair, we're working on it. Hunter Davies, I want Rem to ruin Darling in the Franks for me. In the name of Farmer Weeb, Angel, Ang. That's off. Irene's quiz told me Sean is a lolly sympathizer. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, nor do I think I want to. Jam Hands, Jax, Juan Haritos. Just Spicitus, no more mystery, no more puns. Cassidy, King Rich Rock. Leave Denji and Pochita out of harm's way, Sean. No promises. Matt02 Max. Mexican Gone Freaks. Mikeka 7 Hierto. Hierto? I think so. I think that's how you say that. MILF Hunter X Hunter, a story about young Sean searching for his big boob waifu mommy. My birthday is December 1st, the day everyone nuts. Congratulations. Nick Harvey. Nidzaira. No waifu, no laifu. On the count of 3, release the holy hand grenade. Classic reference. Paco el Musico. Prediction out of context, Irene will get a medical degree to perfect her quizzes. Rem continues to crush my soul. Resident Warhammer Nerd got his Guard Codex. Rhiannon Williams. Ross Angel Palmer. Salty Pretzel. Shoujo Addict who doesn't need help, just more manga to read and anime to watch. Silent Secondary. Sing Like an Angel. Hashire Sorio Kazeiro ni. Suki Mihara wo Padoru. There you go. Stacy's Mom. Static Shock is my favorite anime support group for the sexually harassed deities. The Big Bean. The Susanator. Tiger Lily Snape. Totally God's Angel. Trenton Farrell. Wade. Oh man. Aishel? Aishel?
What's great is you theoretically hear me do these patron readings
it's a blur,
weekly.
Man. It's a blur a lot of the time. And like some of the you say the things and I'm like, yeah, that sounds right.
It's okay. Patrons, just know that when I'm reading your lovely name, Sean doesn't give a single shit. So
that is not true. I care about.
He doesn't love.
I can't.
That's why I'm the voice of the people.
No, hey, you cannot slander me in the middle of Patreon raids. Walk Me Home Gently. Weiss Schwartz already has an angel of a cat, Coco, as an unofficial mascot, but Toby the AOOC cat is cute too. People love your cat, Remington, which is fair.
Oh, there was a stream this past week. It played a large part.
Yeah. I was there. I was in the audience.
Yeah, it's becoming a big deal.
Yeah. What does the sign on an out-of-business brothel say? Beat it. We're closed. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Humstov. Waishon Waishan. Yandere Waifu Eyes. Xanix. Zhao Sheng Hao Zhong Wo Shizai Wai O Bing Chilling. That's probably a reference I don't get. Zombie Stomp. Did you seriously cry at the end of Angel Beats? Ask Misaka. Trying not to laugh milk out of her nose. And now moving on to the Boy Wizard tier, where this week everyone is getting. Oh God, this was Polar Express, right? Everybody is getting a train. Just
okay. Of course.
A train. You get a train. List of trains. Here we go. No, I don't want a list of trains. I want lists of trains, please.
Everyone gets their own train list.
Everyone gets their own train list. You get list of trains in Bangladesh. Congratulations. Let's see. You get, most famous. Oh, that's not enough trains. That's nowhere near enough trains. Here we go. Bunch of trains with a bunch of red links. That's perfect. All right. Starting with Angel Father is counting down until the next bonsai, 46 weeks as of November 28th. You get the Admiral out of the Pennsylvania Railroad. There you go. Beethoven 1201. You get Advanced Denver Zephyr out of Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy. That sounds like an actually kind of interesting thing. It sounds like almost like a Gundam, almost.
Goddamn weeb.
Yeah. Butterbean Wimple Snatch. You get...
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's a hell of a name. You get Advanced Water Level Limited out of New York Central. Christmas is a wonderful time for a wholesome revisit of Future Diary. You get Afternoon Keystone. Some of these names, these are trains. And that one is out of Pennsylvania Penn Central. Crimson Reapers, just because of the scythes, spelled with the C. You get Antelope out of Santa Fe. It's just called Antelope. Go ahead, call the cops. It won't silence the voices. They're getting louder. Send help, please. You're going to get the Badger Express.
Oh, hell yeah, baby. That's the sequel to the Polar Express.
I would much rather watch the Badger Express than the Polar Express. That just sounds way more entertaining.
I would love to watch that.
It's just a train with normal passengers, but they just throw a bunch of badgers in about halfway through. That's it.
Hell yes.
That's the kind of movie I want to watch. Hellerex, you get Bar Harbor Express out of Maine. Oh, and the Badger Express was out of the Great Northern, whatever that means. The Great Northern Railroad, presumably. I do swear I am an anime tsundere and I just want Sean Senpai's approval. You get Beach Patrol out of Pennsylvania reading Seashore Lines.
Fuck.
If you don't watch Yellow Girl, an angel beats Penguin up. Also, I, Rem, am still a girl. You get Beaver. It's just Beaver out of the Southern Pacific Railroad.
Yeah.
Inuyasha is my favorite cryptid believes in angels. You get the Birmingham Special out of Pennsylvania, then Penn Central. It should have been the other Nakano. You get Blue Water out of Amtrak. There you go. Latino stopped eating and waiting for an answer to tweet comment on Pokemon starters. By the way, Rem, have you seen the new Pokemon starters?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, have any strong opinions on them?
I feel mildly uncomfortable with one of their final evolutions.
The cat
But-
or the duck? Because I mean,
You know, it's pretty close. One makes me more uncomfortable than the other, but I won't specify which. I'll let people decide.
is it the duck because of the toes?
I'm not gonna specify.
Okay. They get.
But the gator, that one's great. I love that boy.
Oh yeah. You get the Buckeye out of Pennsylvania. Miguel De Leon. You get Buffalo Chicago Special out of New York Central. Mike got his Overlord review. You're going to get the Butte Special out of Union Pacific. Mostly referenced as a sister fucking anime, but it is not from a studio of Madoka Magic with the same mouse score. Time to do it, and then it cuts off because Patreon is very deceptive for its length. So I have no idea what you could be recommending. So good luck with that. You're going to get the Dartmouth out of Boston and Maine. My dog. You're going to get the Daylight Limited out of the Southern Pacific. Reincarnated from Instrumentality, I am the Angry German. Luckily, there's angels to beat. It's Isekai Spec Ops Asuka. You're going to get the Denali Star. Sarah Barnowski, you're going to get the Diplomat. Very, very straightforward. Sean, you're my idol, and just like you, I also like Boku no Pico. That is not true. Nobody should like that. It's very bad.
Hey man, I don't know. We got 11 days left.
Look, no, hey, don't start that shit with me, sir. Because I'll tell you right now, if you try to make me watch that without any information, I'm forcing you to sit down and watch it with me. I'm coming over to your house and plopping your ass in front of the computer, tying you to the chair if I have to, and taping your eyes open fucking Clockwork Orange style.
Oh, fuck.
At any rate, you get the Dominion Express. Congratulations.
Emphasis on the minion.
Jesus Christ. Sean, you rep 13. Promise Dylan was kind enough to clip it. Episode 233 at 5020. We want zeros. Man, they tried to really cram a lot in, but the sad thing is they definitely could have put some spaces in there, so I could have read it a bit easier because it doesn't look like it has reached that imaginary limit.
there would have been space.
I feel like there would have been space. I could be mistaken. Maybe adding the spaces is what gets rid of it, but I feel like I could have seen it. You're going to get the East Wind out of the New York, New Haven, and Hartford. Shane Ware would like to request again that you watch all of Clan with BS rules, at least Tadango Daikazoku. You're going to get the the Egyptian Zipper?
Oh.
Oh dear. Out of Chicago and Eastern Illinois Railroad. I will say, I think every train I've mentioned so far has been decommissioned. So that's probably why they're up for grabs in the first place. So congrats.
I see.
The Great Ball of Despair. You're going to get the Empire State Express. Just goes straight up. Obviously out of the New York line. Toby's an Angel. Changed my mind. Would you describe...
I won't. It's true.
I mean, he has such great socks. You get...
He does.
You get the Fast Flying Virginian.
Oh.
Out of...
I don't think it should fly, but okay.
I mean, hey, if it's fast and it's flying, it's gonna go. And that's one of the ones that actually has a proper blue link rather than a red link, which is nice. Vincent Calabrese, you're going to get the Feather River Express off of the Western Pacific Railroad. Warning, you're 799 episodes away. You're going to get the Fisherman's Special
Oh.
off of the Long Island Railroad. And finally, was actually talking about Hollywood Undead last time, also distracted by hunger. You're going to get, of course, the Florida Special, which, weirdly enough, is on the Pennsylvania Railroad. Anyways...
That's Sean's nickname.
the Florida Special?
Yep.
Yeah, That
They're
definitely
just
applies.
the right age for them down in Florida.
Oi! Rem, you know down in Florida it's mostly retirement, right?
Hey, man, to be a grandma, you need to be a mom.
So really what you're saying is you want to take a trip down there and you want me to come with you. I understand, Rem. I can understand your desires.
Well, it depends. Is your grandma in Florida?
Far as
I'll
I
tell you
know-
what. We'll take a trip. You, me, Grandma Rollins.
Grandma Rollins might actually enjoy that, minus you trying to seduce her. But my grandma Irene, for all I know, she could be down in Florida because last time, I mean, she moved like nearly out of state without telling any of us, so it's very possible. Rem, stay away from my grandparents. And finally, we move on to the highest echelon of our Patreon, the inappropriate Joey Wheeler tier, where this week, Remington is going to give everybody a lovely children's book recommendation, as Joey Wheeler.
All right, I'm ready.
There you go. And starting off with Blake.
You get H.P. Lovecraft's The Call of Cthulhu.
Classic children's story.
It's an illustrated version done like Dr. Seuss.
Unironically, I think I love that. I think that's great.
It looks delightful.
Get that for Dylan for Christmas. That'd be good. Blood Cell. Back to not being the white one. Fuck those guys. They're way too aggressive.
You get Hey, Yugs! I just finished reading The Little Republican.
Oh, nobody wants that one. Why would you give that one out, Rem? What did Blood Cell do to you?
I don't want to. It's just here, dude.
Next up is Remington's dear old mum.
Hey, Mom, you get Diary of a Wimpy Kid, book 17, Diaper Overload.
What? Hold the fucking phone. What? How many of them are there?
There's now apparently 17.
Holy shit! Back when I was in like junior high, there was like what, 4, maybe 5?
Jesus, they just kept coming. Apparently.
Why did they keep
just
coming?
Never stopped.
The
They're
first
still
4
coming, I guess.
The first 4 were bad. Why did
I guess they're still popular. So,
gee, what's next? Captain Underpants? Is there a new sequel for that out yet? Don't look.
I mean, hey, only one way to find out.
Oh dear.
I need another name, you fuck.
Oh yeah. Next up is Hermione begs Harry and Ron.
Hey, for you, I think you're gonna get dragons love tacos. It's just a scientific fact.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Next up is Magic Ice Ball.
Hey, Yugs, you get moo ba fa la 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 la.
I loved it when Al Pacino said that in Scarface. Made the whole movie for me. Oh, fuck. Next up, Pizza Kinda Candy is my waifu.
You get the hardest hidden picture book ever. Good luck.
Perfect for an audio-only medium. Next up, Raftalia is my anime waifu has returned.
You get super interesting facts for smart kids.
After that, we have Tacos Anonymous says hashtag free Dylan's nip and hashtag free Toby.
You are gonna get the littlest reindeer, which in a way isn't that what Toby is.
No, I'm pretty sure he's a cat.
But
Yeah, he's got socks though. Those are pretty cute. And finally, going above and beyond, we have Dylan Hayden.
alright, you are gonna get none other than the big book of silly jokes for kids. And for you, I'll give you one, alright?
Oh boy.
Hey, Yugs!
Oh dear.
What are the strongest days of the week?
What?
Saturday and Sunday. Every other day is a weekday.
That's
Yugs, you're not laughing, Yugs.
Well, the problem is that the other those are weekends, so both are just as weak.
Shut the fuck up, Yugs! Well, there we go. Now back to our regularly scheduled 6 months ago.
Yes, because we did the outro, because we remembered that part.
Great shout outs, Sean.
And if you'd like to reach us, you can reach us at what the fuck? How did words are hard.
Whether it's for a comment, question, feedback.
If you'd
or
like to reach us for whether it's for a comment, question, feedback, or recommendation, you can send us an email at animeoutofcontext@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter at AnimeConPod, or leave us a review and put the recommendation there.
you can't solicit a review in the no. Oh, he's fucked it all up. If you want, and thank you all for tuning in once again. And as always, don't fuck your sister. And happy April Fools.
What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm in a suit covered in balls.